Okay, joining us to talk about all things crypto, Seoyoung. She is the department chair and associate professor, waving there, of finance and business analytics at Santa Clara University's Levy School of Business. Good to see you. Thanks for taking time to chat with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, now, so there's some real concerns, obviously, not just among lawmakers, but a lot of folks out there about the president and his family basically enriching themselves while the administration is also trying to write the rules regarding crypto regulation. Do you think it's a fair accusation?
So it's a little bit trickier than that. One thing is that crypto in general is hugely cross-correlated with its main market leader, Bitcoin, far more so than general, let's say, stocks and bonds are cross-correlated across the market. But still, the Trump coin and Melania coin, they had a huge surge when they came out right before the inauguration. But as the economy came down, the price of Trump coin and Melania coin hasn't resurged with the surge of Bitcoin. So those two aren't really following the Bitcoin rally. I think the conflict that would be more concerning is with respect to, for example, with the Trump brand on World Liberty Financial, which recently issued its own stablecoin. And now with the deal with Abu Dhabi, if there is some sort of perceived quid pro quo as to why a certain government is going to use your stablecoin rather than a different stablecoin, because now there are so many potential stablecoins that you could choose as your medium of exchange. Choosing to use Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Now, but before we go too deep into those names, I kind of want to just pause for just a second. Let's talk about that, because all the names, crypto, the meme coin, and now stable coin. And that's something, as I understand it, tied to the value of a specific asset. If you could first briefly explain the difference and then get back into why that's so important.
Sure. So there are meme coins which have no inherent value other than it's a representative of some concept or political idea, but it's never intended to have any sort of real tangible use case or financial value. And that's where I would group Trump coin and Melania coin. It is very different for the leader of the nation to actually issue a coin like that, but those were never promoted as having inherent value in and of itself. And now with stable coins, the term behind that, and there are many different types of stable coins, the legislation that's potentially at stake right now refers to a specific type of stable coin. Now, stable coins are called that because they try to maintain at least a soft peg to, let's say, the US dollar. It's not a complete one-to-one peg at all times, but it maintains a close soft peg. And the type of stable coin that's at stake right now with, let's say, things like the Genius Act, that type of stable coin is the one that is going to be backed explicitly by US dollars or US dollar equivalents, like short-term US treasuries and that sort of thing.
Okay, good there. Let's pick up there and talk about Trump as well, because as near as I can understand after reading today and doing some research, that his net value now, about 40% of it is tied up in crypto activity. I think that would raise some people's eyebrows.
And I'm not sure about the exact numbers, but between him and his family, I think one big issue at stake is with World Liberty Financial issuing yet another stable coin called USD1, and with the Abu Dhabi government saying that they will use that stable coin in a transaction. The question is there an expectation of a quid pro quo as to why a government would choose to use this particular stable coin as a medium of exchange in a transaction, as opposed to there's USDC, there's USDT, there are many other stable coins out there. And so that's one area of concern, because you make a lot of money by issuing stable coins. We can talk about the mechanics there, but really you do want more people to use your stable coin. That is where you are going to be able to issue more and be able to make money off of the difference in terms of the interest you'll earn on those treasuries you're holding while people are using your stable coin as a medium of exchange.
Now, you've been following Trump's interest in Bitcoin for some time now, and I read some of your writings that you said that one of the perhaps positives of this could be people getting more interested in crypto, learning more about it, spawning more interest. In any way, do you think that there is this slippery slope, however, that the administration should have a say in regulating this, while at the same time he and his family profiting from it?
I think the crypto still suffers from huge amounts of misunderstanding as to what crypto actually is and what blockchain technology can do. And so to me, it's a positive. I was always agnostic about the internal value of or the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. But when Elon Musk tweeted about it, and now with Trump being excited about it, it does get more legitimate developers interested, and it gets large established institutions feeling comfortable that now if they start incorporating and building infrastructure within this space, that they won't have spent a lot of money and time for something that will end up being thrown away at litigation or with new regulation that comes out. So in many ways, the things that are coming out, actually,
Right.
the elements of the Genius Act are great. But again, with these conflicts, I'll go back to World Liberty Financial. There are a lot of people who just bought it, without being sophisticated, without really understanding the technical underpinnings of what DeFi and blockchain technology can do. Because there's really not any obvious intrinsic value to holding World Liberty Financial as a governance token when you review their white paper or what they call their gold paper.
Yeah.
But you have even sophisticated investors like Justin Sun, who invested, I think, tens of millions of dollars in WFI.
Right.
So you have to ask yourself, is he hoping for some sort of presidential pardon down the road if something happens to him, like with what happened with CZ in the previous years?